Hello, Sudoku friends. Welcome to our New York Times Hard Sudoku. Today is January 10th, 2023. Let's see. The first thing I spot are these 9 and 6. They block these two cells. Therefore, this and this cell must be a 9-6 pair. And that leaves a 1, 2, and a 5 for these three cells. There's a 1 and a 5 here, and that makes this a 2. So a 1, 5 here, that's a 1, 4, and 8 for these three cells. And of course, a 4 here forces a 4 to go in one of these two cells. And since we have a ghost 4 here now, and we have a 4 up here, we need to find a 4 for the third row. And these two 4s block these two cells. Therefore, this must be a 4. This 5 blocks these three cells, and the 5 here blocks these three cells. Therefore, this must be a 5. And now one of these two must be a 5. So a 1, 3, 4, and a 5, we must find homes for them in these 4 cells here. Of course, there is a 5 already, so we can disregard the 5, and now we are just looking at the 1, 3, and the 4. They must go in 3 of these 4 cells. The 4, of course, will have to go here or here. And I can't say anything about the other two, but it's something to keep in mind. I'm making a few mental notes as I study the grid. The 8 here blocks this cell, and the 8 here blocks these two. So one of these will have to be an 8, and therefore one of these two will have to be an 8. And once I spot this pattern here, I immediately store away in memory the notion that I will need to find an 8 for one of these 4 cells here. Of course, there is an 8 already here. So one of these 3 cells will have to be an 8. The same is true for the 6. There's a 6 here, and therefore one of these will have to be a 6. In this case, though, I do already have a 6 for this row. So I know that these two will have to be a 9 and a 6. And what I often like to do is look at the rest of the row. If this is a 9 or a 6, let's assume that they occupy these two cells here. Let's just say so. Then I look at 3 more cells. They have to be a 1, 5, and a 7. Then I look at the 2 5s here. The 2 5s here force a 5 to go in one of these two cells, right? And the 7 here forces a 7 to go in one of these two cells as well. So now I have a 6, 9 here, 7, 5 here, and these two cells now will have to be a 1 and a combination of a 9 or a 6. But since we now know that one of these will have to be a 5, and we have a ghost 5 in these two cells, we need to find a 5 for row 1. Since this is a 9, 6, and this cannot be a 5 because a 5 will have to go here or here, then a 5 will have to go here, here, or here. But look at here. There's a 5 here and a 5 here blocking this cell and this cell. Therefore, this has got to be the 5. The remaining 4 cells here will have to be a 4, 7, 8, and a 9. There's a 7, 9 here, so this is a 4, 8. There's a 4 here, nope, no, and there's a 9 here. Oh, there's an 8 here. So no, I can't seem to be able to resolve those just yet. But at least I know that this is a 4, 8. And this, by the way, I think is a 3, 8, isn't it? Yes, of course it is. Because one of these two will have to be a 4. There's a 1 here and here. And we need to find a 1 also for row 4. And we can't go here, 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 or here. Because there's a 1 here, there's a 1 here and here. Logging all of these cells I just pointed out. So this must be a 1, a 2, 3, 5, and a 6 still needed for these 4 cells. There's a 2, 5, and a 6 observing this cell. Therefore, this must be a 3. And the 3 here and the 3 here. And this 3 puts the 3 in this cell. And then this now must be a 4. And therefore, this must be an 8. Remember, these two are 1 5s, right? And the 4 couldn't have gone here because of this 4. So this is pretty forced. 2, 5, and 6 now for these cells. Let's see. No, I can't do much about that now. But I'm pretty confident we'll get there eventually. Yes, I can put an 8 in this cell, and I will tell you why. Because this 8 here blocks these 3 cells, and one of these cells must be an 8. Therefore, this cell cannot be an 8. And these 2 cells can't be 8s either because of this 8. So this is an 8. And now we're looking at the missing 1, 6, and a 9 for these 3 cells here. So this cannot be a 1, therefore it must be a 6 or a 9. And by the way, we had a 6 and a 9 here too, didn't we? So this is a 6, 9. Get rid of this. This is a 6, 9, and this is a 6, 9. And we already remember, I guess, that these are 5 and 7s. So where does that leave us with respect to the 1? That's right, it needs to go here. This one here and a ghost one here puts a 1 up here in this little box, like so. And now this is a 6, 9, this is a 6, 9, this is a 6, 9, and this is a 6, 9. Here we have 1 and 5, and here we have 5 and 7. And we can find another 8. Can you spot it? It's not easy, but if you followed along with the video, you remember that the 8 here and the 8 here force an 8 to go either here or here, right? Keep that in mind as we study this 8 here, forcing an 8 to go here or here. Therefore, this cell and this cell cannot be 8s. We have an 8 up here, therefore this cell and this cell can't be 8 either. Therefore, an 8 will have to go here or here. So we have 8 candidates here, 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 and here. Where now can we put an 8 in row 5? Not here, not here, not here, and also not here because of this 8. So this must be an 8. I like these neat patterns because they make sense and they satisfy my cravings for logic. So there's a 4 here blocking these cells. There's a 4 here blocking these cells. There's a 4 here blocking these cells. That makes this an automatic 4. And the 4 here and here and here now puts a 4 in this cell, doesn't it? And now we have these 2 4s. And we need to find a 4 for column 2. It can't go here, here, here. Nor can it go here or here because of these 2 4s. So it needs to go here. And finding this 4 takes away a possible square for a 2. So now we got the 2 here, looking at these 2 cells, and we got this 2 looking at these 2 cells. That makes this a 2, doesn't it? Now let's see, this column here now needs to find a 3, 6, and a 9. We know this is a 6 or a 9, so we're talking about a 3. And the 3 can't go here because of the 3 here, so this is a 3. This is now a 6 or a 9, and this is a 6 or a 9. 6 and 9s, 6 and 9 pairs seem to be quite a theme in this puzzle. A 5, 7, and a 9 for these 3 cells. And look here, there's a 9 and a 7 blocking this cell, therefore this must be a 5. And this is now a 9 or a 7, and this is a 9 or a 7. But because we found this 5 now, remember the 1, 5 here? This is now a 5, and this is a 1. We need 3 cells to be filled here. There have to be a 6 and a 3 and a 7. Let's see. There's a 7 here. So, no. It looked nice, but it'll have to keep just a little while longer, I think. What about these 3 cells here? A 2, 5, and a 6. There's a 6 here, there's a 5 here, there's a 2 here. That's all very good and wonderful, but it's not helpful. Now we've got a few givens in column 2. Let's look at what's missing. We're missing a 2, 3, and a 6. There's a 3 and a 6 here, so that's a 2. And we have this 2 pointing down here, and we have this 2 now here. So this is a 2, and therefore this is a 2, right? Yes, that's how it's got to be. And these 2 are now 3 and 6. And since we have a 3 here blocking these cells, and we have a 3 blocking these 2 cells, we know that one of these 2 will have to be a 3. And in combination with this 3 here, this now must be a 3. Now we just need to find a 1, 5, and a 9 for these 3 cells. So one of these will have to be a 9, right? And a 5. Oh, no, can't do anything about that yet. But let's continue to explore this row here. 3, 6, 8, and a 9. We've got, 3, 6, 8, all blocking this cell. So of course there's got to be a 9. And that makes these 3 cells 3, 6, 8. And if they're 3, 6, 8, then these have to be a 1, 7, and a 9. And we know that one of these will have to be a 1, of course. So therefore, this must be a 1. And this is now a 7, 9. The other cell here must be a 5. So this is a 1, 5 pair. And since we have a 1 in the column, this cannot be a 1. It must be a 5. And this is then a 1. And we're getting very close. We know that these 2 have to be a 7, 9. And that makes this an 8. These 3 cells now have to be 6, 7, 9. And again, I can't do much about that at the moment. But this is a 6, 9, and therefore this must be a 6, 9. I'm sure there's something here that I'm missing, but we'll do it the hard way, namely by hard work. These have to be a 2 and a 6. And there's a 2 here, therefore the 2 goes here and the 6 here. And that gives me finally a 6 for this cell, and therefore a 9 for this, and a 6 for this, and a 9 for this, and a 6 for this. That's beautiful. If we had had pencil marks, we would have a lot of 9-6 pairs that we would have entered for no reason at all, because they are so easy to remember. Once you find the first pair of 6 and 9 here in these 2 cells, the rest practically find themselves. This now must be a 9, and this must be a 6, making this a 7, and this a 7. These have to be 9 and 8 now. There's a 9 in the row, so this is an 8, and this is a 9, making this a 9, of course, as well. Let's see what else we have. We need to find an 8 for one of these 2 cells, and that's easy because of the 8 here, right? So this is an 8. These are still 5 and 7, right? And we need a 5 and 7 also for these 2. And there's a 5, fortunately, in this row. So this is a 7, this is a 5, this is a 7. And these 2 cells now have to be a 3 and a 5. There's a 5 here still in the row, so this is a 3 and this is a 5. These 2 must now be a 3 and a 7. There's a 7 in the row, so the 3 goes here and the 7 here. And now it should be possible to find the rest. I think this cell must be a 9. and these two have to be a 6 and an 8. There's an 8 in the column, so the 8 goes here and the 6 here, and these two have to be a 7, which has to go here because of the 7 up here, right? And a 3. That's it for today's New York Times Hard Classical Sudoku. I hope you enjoyed it, and I thank you for watching. Please come back again soon. Bye for now.